A terrifying faceless monster suddenly crawled out of the coast, but this woman didn't seem panicked at all. She looked at the time and it was just right. Then she raised her crossbow, aiming at the monster that she couldn't see at all. When the monster was about to approach the woman directly pulled the trigger, accurately hitting the monster's brow. Afterwards, the monster fell within the circle that the woman had drawn in advance. The woman's name is Miss Peregrine. Her true form is a bird that can reset time. Miss Peregrine founded an orphanage to prevent the invasion of evil forces, and the orphans adopted here. Each of them is a skilled superpower. Take a closer look at this little girl. Normal people eat with their mouths, but she took the chicken leg to the back of her head. In just 3 seconds, the big chicken leg was gnawed clean. Miss Peregrine also remembered to wipe off the residue from the little girl's mouth. If the food on the table is not enough, it won't bother them. The superpower of the natural girl is to infinitely enlarge all objects. She only needs to aim at the carrot to activate her superpower. In the blink of an eye, a carrot weighing hundreds of tons can break through the ground. Then the youngest strong girl just used a little force. The carrot weighing hundreds of tons was instantly pulled out of the ground, easily sent into the kitchen. And if you want to drink hot water, you don't need to light a fire. The fire girl just needs to put her palm on the kettle. In a moment, a pot of boiling hot water can be placed in front of you. In addition, there is also a boy named Brown who can spit wasps from his mouth, a beautiful girl named Emma who is lighter than air, etc. But the most mysterious are these twin boys. Their superpowers are very similar to the characters in Greek mythology. When they take off their masks, guaranteed to scare you. Although everyone here is capable, but they can only hide in the time loop created by Miss Peregrine. So all the people in the orphanage are frozen on September 3rd, 1943, so these children will never grow up, until this boy from 2016 appeared, to break all the original rules. One day, Jack suddenly received an emergency call from his grandfather, saying that the house was attacked by monsters. By the time Jack arrived, Grandpa was already lying on the ground dying. Jack was horrified to find that Grandpa's eyes had flown away. Grandpa told Jack, hurry to the island he mentioned before. Go back to September 3rd, 1943, to find Miss Peregrine in the orphanage on the island. He will tell Jack all the answers he wants. As soon as the voice fell, Grandpa left the world. In order to find out the truth, Jack took the photo left by his grandfather, came to the small island mentioned by Grandpa. He found a dilapidated orphanage in a hidden jungle on the island. The gloomy orphanage was in ruins and a mess. The dust everywhere indicates that no one has been here for many years. Jack turned around. He didn't understand why Grandpa let him come here, but just as Jack was about to return, suddenly a figure appeared in front of him. Jack was so scared that he turned around and ran away. As soon as he went downstairs, he found 2 girls peeking at him. There are also a pair of children wearing masks in the corner. Jack suddenly felt a chill on his back. He ran away. Unexpectedly, he was tripped by a stone and fainted on the spot. When Jack woke up, suddenly found a few strange children staring at him, but at this time Jack didn't feel scared. Instead, he was surprised. It turns out that they were the childhood playmates that Grandpa often mentioned. Then they took Jack through the cave, came to a beautiful castle. Unexpectedly, this is the dilapidated orphanage that Jack found before. The one who opened the door was the owner of the castle, Miss Peregrine. What Jack didn't know was, he has returned to September 3rd, 1943, and that cave is the entrance to the time loop created by Miss Peregrine. Miss Peregrine recognized Jack at a glance, because Jack looks too much like his grandfather when he was young. Under the leadership of Miss Peregrine, Jack met all the superpowers in the orphanage. At this time Jack understood, everything Grandpa said is real. In the evening, Miss Peregrine took everyone outside the castle, and put a clock on the table. Everyone put on gas masks uniformly. Miss Peregrine looked at the time and it was just right. Suddenly, several fighter jets roared over the castle. When the last fighter passed, but opened the hatch, a huge nuclear bomb fell from the sky. Just saw Miss Peregrine calmly press pause. Suddenly the time around stopped. The nuclear bomb and raindrops stopped in the air at the same time. Then Miss Peregrine began to reverse time. Everything that happened began to quickly rewind, until the time returned to 24 hours ago to stop. It turns out that Miss Peregrine, in order to protect the children here, use her own talent. She can keep the time in a loop on September 3rd. The next day, Jack asked Miss Peregrine about the real cause of Grandpa's death, and mentioned that he saw a terrifying faceless monster at the scene of Grandpa's murder. Fortunately, the young old lady next door fired randomly to scare the monster away. Miss Peregrine was shocked when she heard the faceless monster, then refused to answer Jack's question and turned away. Miss Peregrine's abnormality made Jack feel that there must be something hiding from him, so he found Emma, the wind girl who could control the air. Emma took Jack to an endless sea, then dived into the sea. Jack saw this and quickly jumped down. As the two dived deeper and deeper, Jack gradually felt a little suffocated. At this time Emma spit out a lot of air from her mouth. A big bubble just covered Jack's head. Jack then caught his breath. Soon, the two dived to a sunken ship. There are human skeletons everywhere in the hull of the sunken ship, but Emma familiarly took Jack to a secret room.